Hi everybody, Alex here from Expert Forex, and in this instructional video I'm going to show you 5 ways to prune your open trades for the Grid Trend Multiplier. Now the first question is, why prune? And for those who don't know, pruning is the process of closing selected open deals in order to manage risk. So you might have 20 open deals. Pruning is selecting the deals to close to reduce your risk in the best way. So why would you want to prune? Firstly, these days leverage is becoming a very valuable commodity, and it will reduce your margin requirements. It will also obviously reduce your carrying loss. It won't affect equity, your equity number, because equity already includes open trade, so it's actually quite a good thing to prune regularly. It also allows you to take a break from the current strategy. So in other words, you can reduce your exposure to your current strategy, and it is a good risk control method. Okay, so we're going to look at the 5 methods that are currently available in the Grid Trend Multiplier. There's the closure at a profit level, and what you can do there is you can actually specify a dollar profit or a percentage gain or start of the trading, or you could specify pips. So if you've made, let's say, 200 pips, you say please close the grid and I'll start again, or I'll reconsider my strategy. So that's number 1 pruning method. The other pruning method is if you want to close the grid at a specific price level. So yeah, you can specify the price at which the EA will close all deals, either above a certain price or below a certain price. And then we have the optimum restart method, and I'll go into that one in a little bit more detail. We also have the maximum gap between buy and sell method, and I'll show you that one in a little bit more detail. Then we have the hedged pair closing method. Okay, so let's look at the last 3 in a little bit more detail. Now, it has been found that when the price is in the middle of what I would call a carpet, when there's the equal number of buys and equal number of sells, and the losses that these carry are more or less the same, like in this example, you've got 5 buys above the price. Let's say the price is in the middle there, and you've got 5 sells below the price. And the buy loss is 500, let's say, and the sell loss is 500. If you use this setting, it will just close all the deals. And you can tell it in the setting what the minimum number of open deals should be. So that's one way of pruning open trades. The other way is using the gap method. So what we would say is, oh, hang on, here's 10 buys and 1 sell, so the gap between the number of open buys and the number of open sells is 9. So if you set that, for instance, to 10, what the EA will do, and let's have a look when it moves on to 10, so suddenly there are 11 buys and 1 sell, the gap is now 10. What it will do, it will close, in most cases, the highest lost one, so it will just close that particular deal. So it will prune it. So you'll be back to 10, 1 and 9, and your gap can be 9. So a lot of traders like using this as a pruning method. And then there's another method that uses hedged pairs. So in other words, they say that there must be a matching buy for every open sell. And as you can see in the settings, we've nominated 5. So if there are 5 matching hedged pairs, then the EA will start pruning the open trades by closing the buy and the sell furthest from the current price. Example of this, here we're starting with 4 buys and 5 sells. So we really only have 4 pairs going at the moment. The setting is 5, so we're okay. Then it moves on, and then suddenly there are 5 buys and 6 sells. So immediately you can see you can actually match up 5 buys and 5 sells. So there are 5 pairs that can be matched up. And then what the EA will do is say, okay, 5 is the maximum, so I've got to reduce it, and it will then close one of the 5 there and one of the 6 there, so that the hedged pairs return to 4. Just another way of pruning. Now, if you need more detail about these methods, please, the first area to go to is the user manual as shown in your screen. You can download it from the EA Factory website. If you still have problems, email EA Factory with any questions that you might have. Now, there is no right or wrong setting here, so it varies from trader to trader. Some use method 1, some use method 4. It just depends on what your personal goals are and how you personally would like to manage risk. So we've given you 5 options on how you can manage risk. By the way, none of these options are used in our plug and play versions. I hope you've learned a little bit about how you can manage open trades when using the Grid Trend Multiplier. From me, Alex Deploy, cheerio.